The Eagles come under fire recently due to his remarks on ring girls. The proud Russian has made some very sharp remarks on the role of these girls and how they have prior to and during the fight, and think they just take the time up if anything. Obviously, many didn't take kindly to these words, and one of them was Ebanie Bridges, who ripped into Khabib with her own comments, so let's dive into the latest. Starting off, Ebanie Bridges is not one to be messed with. Ebanie Bridges, a professional boxer, has slammed UFC superstar Khabib Nurmagomedov for calling ring ladies useless. The subject of whether ring ladies have a role is frequently asked by spectators and competitors, but Bridges come out in their defense this week. Conor McGregor and Arianny Celeste both reacted angrily when Khabib called them the most worthless guys in martial arts. Khabib got straightforward with his comments and even called them worthless. This obviously got some attention, and we can't believe our eyes and ears that someone of this is saying so. Next, Bridges has experienced being a ring girl herself. This week, the Australian boxer paused to reflect on how far she's gone in the last 6 years since abandoning her former career to pursue boxing success. She shared her story, telling about how she spent 18 years walking through the ropes, and the last 6 as a boxer. Quote, "I can't wait to see what the future holds," she said, adding photos of herself on Instagram as a ring girl and as boxing IBF champion. The post went viral and the 36-year-old received several congratulations, but one user pointed out that they are now on a similar path. Speaking to her through Twitter, Ty Emery wrote that she was a ring card girl too, the greatest seat near the ring. Blood got on them and they thought it was the best. We'd say ew, but whatever goes in the fighting ring, we guess. Emery also stated that she enjoys all of the blood, so it's not unexpected that she ended up pursuing a career with the bare knuckle fighting championship. Quote, "Because I was the ring card girl, I was instructed to cease cheering. LOL, but I like blood." Next up, how Bridges got her big break. Bridges, a former American football player, model, and electrician, stunned many in her BKFC debut last month when she knocked out her far more experienced opponent, Arianny Carnucci, in the first round of the event in Thailand. After the fight, she became overenthusiastic and pulled off her top, revealing her chest to say the audience while celebrating, stunned BKFC announcer and UFC veteran Chris Little, who said, quote, "Interesting celebration, haven't seen that one before." The footage of the 35-year-old remarkable old triumph and unconventional celebration rapidly went viral, and she went from unknown to someone with a lot of eyes on them. Despite her success, Bridges still has a very long way if she wants to reach the champion level, but after the most spectacular BKFC debut of all time, no one's gonna count her out. Moving on, Bridges has some big matchups lined up. Ebanie Bridges, who made her maiden defense of her IBF bantamweight championship against Shannon O'Connell on December 10th in Leeds, England. The fight will take place on the undercard of Josh Warrington vs. Luis Alberto Lopez for the IBF featherweight title. Bridges, 8-1 with 3 KOs, won the IBF bantamweight title in January after defeating Maria Cecilia Roman. It was her 3rd victory in a row. The Australian won the championship in her 2nd try after losing to Shannon Courtney by unanimous decision for the vacant WBA crown last year. O'Connell, 23-6-1, 11 KOs, will be by far the most accomplished professional boxer Bridges, 36, has faced. O'Connell, who is also from Australia, has competed for titles in 3 different weight classes, all of which she had lost. She has won 8 straight fights, the most recent being a first-round knockout of Sarah Higginson in June. At the time, the bantamweight category is one of the only 4 in women's boxing, where all 4 main championships are held by different persons. Up next, Bridges is quite vocal for fellow bold athletes. She's backed uprising MMA star Jaquinta Austin, telling Dana White to give her a chance in the UFC. The blonde bomber has approximately 550,000 Instagram followers and is the current IBF bantamweight champion, who has thousands of supporters, and she has used her massive platform to heighten Austin, a fellow Australian who has had a stellar year in mixed martial arts. In the last 18 months, the 28-year-old has won 6 battles, 4 of which were MMA, 1 of which was boxing, and 1 of which was kickboxing, and there are major plans in the future, with Bridges urging UFC President Dana White to take note. Austin, dubbed the Juggernaut, is undefeated and ranked 1st in Australia at strawweight. In August, she choked out Irene Crowley in the 2nd round at Eternal MMA 68, and her fan base is rising with victory against Saho, Alish Smith, Viviana Ruiz, Lisa Kuriako, and Olivia Yukamar. Moving forward, Khabib is a guy of few words. We all get it. Khabib likes throwing more punches and less talk. He's a legend in the game at this point. Even if he spewed some weird comments towards ring girls, maybe he he's best at being sarcastic, or maybe he was in a hurry. It could be anything, right? The Eagle is still our favorite, and we'd love to see a truce called between Bridges and Nurmagomedov at the earliest. Let's keep our fighting strictly professional, huh? Now, moving on to other news. Firstly, Fernando Martinez retains title. Fernando Martinez dominated Jerwin Akanjas. One more on Saturday night. For much of their rematch, the tough, aggressive Argentinian pummeled the former IBF champion bantamweight champion. Martinez won a 12-round unanimous decision in the opening of a Showtime Championship boxing tripleheader at Dignity Health Sports Park on February 26 to retain the IBF championship he gained from the Filipino southpaw. Martinez was deemed the decisive victory by judges Tiffany Clinton Ellis Johnson and Zachary Young. Martinez, 15-0, 8 knockouts, successfully defended the IBF 115-pound title he earned from Ancajas in Las Vegas 7 months ago. Ancajas, 33, 3-2 with 22 KOs, was a 5-1 favorite to their first fight and boxing's second longest reigning champion. But Martinez crushed wins on February 26, made him nearly a 3-1 favorite before their rematch. Martinez was required by contract to give Ancajas a rematch right away, but he handled him with relative ease once more. By the time the 12th round came, the brave Ancajas definitely needed a knockout. He exchanged punches with Martinez, who took Ancajas' cleanest blows and delivered heavy punches of his own in the closing 3 minutes. Ancajas caught Martinez with a straight left hand less than a minute into the 12th round. Martinez, on the other hand, pounded him with multiple flush strokes in the second part of the round. Secondly, IBF reorders mandatory fight since dethroning Danny Roman in January 2020 in Miami Gardens, Florida. Akhmadaliev, 11-0, 8 KOs, has defended his unified belt 3 times. The undefeated southpaw from Chust, Uzbekistan, who trains as Joel Diaz's Indio, California facility, is coming off a 12-round stoppage of WBA mandatory challenger Ronnie Rios in their rescheduled fight on June 25th in San Antonio, Texas. Rios was scheduled to meet Akhmadaliev in November 19th, but had to withdraw owing to a positive COVID test. On the November 19th DAZN event in Manchester, New Hampshire, Akhmadaliev faced and defeated late substitute Joselito Velasquez in over 12 rounds. Akhmadaliev's most recent IBF mandatory occurred on April 3rd, where he knocked out IBF obligatory challenger Ryosuke Iwasa in the 5th round in Tashkent, Uzbekistan, his first fight in his native country since an amateur event in 2017, 1 year after capturing a bronze medal for Uzbekistan at the 2016 Rio Olympics. Topalis, who is represented by Sandman Boxing, Shapira Sports, and Viva Promotions in the addition to MP Promotions. According to IBF purse bid regulations, neither fighter is allowed to consent to another match during the duration of the scheduled title fight. This precludes Akhmadaliev from seeking larger fights, such as a 4-belt undisputed clash with WBC, WBO junior featherweight champion Stephen Fulton, 20-0, 8 KOs. A battle like this was never publicly addressed by either side, other than Fulton casually mentioning it as desired, though highly unrealistic option for his next fight. Finally, Joe Cordina removed from IBF title. Joe Cordina's brief reign as champion comes to an end with a whimper. Cordina's withdrawn from his mandatory championship defense against unbeaten challenger Shakhvat Rakhmonov. Due to a hand injury sustained during training camp, their match was scheduled for November 5th in Abu Dhabi, more than 2 months beyond their initial IBF deadline. As per an earlier judgment that permitted Cordina to compete for the championship ahead of Rakhmonov, Cordina is now demoted to former title holder status with no more exemption requests available to him. The consultation with orthopedic hand surgeon expert Mike Hayton showed that Cordina would be out of the ring until at least late January 2023, with March 2023 being a more probable time frame. Even in the best case scenario, the undefeated Welshman would be able to compete with the 60-day medical exemption period expiring on January 4th, 2023. But that's a wrap for this video, my friends. What do you think about Khabib's comments and take on ring girls? Let us know in the comments below. It'd be awesome if you gave us a thumbs up, and please don't forget to subscribe for more amazing videos like these. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.